Hello Slingshotters all over the world, my name is Jason Vega. The name of my channel is Slingshot Capixaba. Estilingue Capixaba means Slingshot Capixaba, which is, Capixaba is a term that we use for people that is born in the region of Brazil that I'm from. We're just gonna talk about slingshot and practices on this channel. I started to do this channel in English as well because there is a huge community of sling shooters all over the world, and most of the time the channel had it was centered in Brazil, but because there's more, I'm trying to get more reach with the channel, so I'm going to start to do some of the videos in English, see how it goes. And I ask you guys to engage the channel, subscribe, and if you have any questions you can send me in English, in Spanish or Portuguese. We're going to try to solve it, but this section of the channel is related to reviews. Okay, we talk about techniques, we talk about ammunition, types of target. In Brazil, we are not allowed to hunt with slingshot. Hunting is prohibited in Brazil unless it's for survival. So we're not going to talk much about hunting, but we can eventually talk about fishing with slingshot, because fishing is permitted, but not hunting. Okay, not predatory hunting, not sports hunting. So you most likely not going to see me talking about this. Slingshots are very usual, or very general, but there's many types of slingshots all over the world, and styles of sling shooting. Okay, ultimately I've been trying to do reviews on slingshots that we get to Brazil, mostly from China, Asia. We do produce a lot of slingshots here. Brazil has a huge tradition of slingshots. Back in the past, there was a kid with a slingshot all around Brazil, especially in the rural areas, some of the suburbs in the cities. But along the ages, it starts to die out. There's a community of sportsmen that use slingshot here in Brazil, so it's most related to a sport now. Okay, for the first video, which is the first video in English, I decided to do a review for this piece that I've been waiting for some time to get it done. Okay, we depending on the feedback that we have, we will be talking about other issues, about other themes in our videos. Okay, talking about this slingshot, it's a metal slingshot. I bought it from China through AliExpress. Not making a propaganda here, not making an ad, it's just where I got it from. There is no brand, so I wouldn't know what brand is this slingshot. But mostly I bought this slingshot because of this type of fixation of the rubber in the slingshot. It's mostly for tapes. It's going to be pretty hard for you to get a tubular elastic here, like a tube, for using the slingshot. So it's a tape slingshot. It's an OTT, over the top. Okay, so when you shoot, the ammunition flies over the top of the slingshot. Okay, there is a quick release system. This quick release system is the most interesting part on this slingshot, so I'm going to start for that. Most of the quick release systems, example of this one here, it's a press and a screw bottom. Okay, and there is a serrated part of the slingshot where the tape gets tightened. You see here, it's a very in the tip, because this serrated part is very sharp, so it grips the tape and doesn't release it. On this type of slingshot, it's a bit different. The part that holds the tape is in shape of a drip. Okay, so a water drip. So there's a form of the piece, and when you simply get it and you push it up, you have the tape. It's free to release, free to take off of the slingshot. When you put it back on the slingshot, you just have to follow the tape all the way down. Let me try to do it here. You go with the tape all the way down, where is this little crevice here, and then you push the button down, and you're gonna have the tape exactly in the same place as the other side, which makes it more easy for you to fix your tapes on the Slingshot and also to take it off. Because I'm always doing tests with types of tapes and different kind of materials, different type of sets and sizes and shapes, this type of Slingshot is very useful. And I was looking forward to have one of these pieces with this type of disconnection. Another thing interesting is on this fixation part is that it's a screwing type of I would say bolt. So when you fix the tape on the Slingshot, you can also screw it. I wouldn't recommend doing this because there's no grooves on this bolt here. So it's very on this little knob. There's no groove. So when you try to unscrew it or screw it, it's a bit hard. So I leave it in one position, and just the pressure of the tape trying to coming out after it gets caught by this part inside, it's enough for holding it in place. I already shoot it more than 200 times, and the tape doesn't even move 1 inch. So it's pretty fine. Okay. Other things about the Slingshot is fully metal, so I think it's stainless steel. I don't know much about metallurgy, so I wouldn't guess what type of metal is this. And despite the fact that being a very small Slingshot, I got caught when I thought the Slingshot on the internet. I didn't bother to try the measurements for the Slingshot, but it's pretty small and looks big on when you see it on the pictures, but it's pretty small. So I have a big hand, but even though my hands, I can only fix my 2 middle fingers in this handle part. If I try 3 fingers, it's gonna be a bit tight and uncomfortable for shooting. So my 3rd finger just stays out here, and this is one of the things that bother me, but it's a preference, and I say that that's not a big issue. The other thing is that the piece is very well done, so there's no live edges on the whole piece, which is good for your type of elastic that you're going to use on it, because it doesn't hurt the elastic. It is not going to cut it. Micro cuts, people that have been shooting with elastics know that micro cuts, they tend to open and break your elastic and ruin it. So that's one of the things that's very interesting on this Slingshot. Is very well done, very nice piece. Okay, no sharp edges at all. There's this little bolt here in the bottom. You can unscrew it and not having it on your Slingshot. I do recommend, because of the weight of the Slingshot and the size of it, I do recommend putting a little lanyard here and wrap it around your wrist. So you're gonna be shooting if you get tired or you need both hands to do any operation, you just let it go and it's gonna be tied on a little lanyard. Okay. The other thing is interesting here is this type of connection, this type of assembling of the Slingshot. On this Slingshot, if you're not happy with the handle, which I'm not, with this grip here, you can just unscrew it from here and put in any other that is compatible. Or if you have the skills, you can do your own handle and keep this quick release system in the head of the Slingshot useful, and you're still gonna use it. So if you want a big one, you can even shoot like this, and you just have to do a different type of handle, a different type of grip. Okay, this is very interesting. This Slingshot comes with this type of grip, which we call Draco or Dragon or whatever you want to call. Some people call different names, but there is the only thing with this type of Slingshot on this arrangement that we have here. If you're not shooting like this, the heads of the Slingshot, this part of the Slingshot, we call it heads, they get pretty close to your hands. It gives you a firm grip and it's easier to aim, but it's very complicated. So if you get tired, like in a session of training, or if you start shooting and you get tired, eventually you're gonna miss, and you're gonna miss on the technique. If you miss on the technique because of tiredness or any other reason, you're pretty much gonna hit your hand. Okay, that's not cool. So we all know that's pretty painful, get shot by yourself in your hand. So the idea is if you're not very used to slingshots, if you're just starting, start shooting like this. Okay, you're gonna miss a little of a slingshot, but at least the heads of the slingshot is far away from your hand. If you had to hit on this part, it's gonna hit the heads of the slingshot, but not your hand, which is better. Okay, and being metal, you don't have to worry about get dents. You're gonna have a little smash here, a little dent, but nothing that is really complicated for the structure of the slingshot. Which on the wooden ones, sometimes you shoot and you start breaking, and loses a bit of the constituency of the slingshot, and you're gonna break eventually. And that's what been happening with this type of quick release tape quick release slingshots that been selling on the market now. You have to watch out for these things, because being plastic, sometimes the fabrication of the plastic doesn't have a good quality control, and you start pulling and it breaks exactly the head, which is going to cause the head of the slingshot to fly on your direction, and it's going to hit you on the face probably. That's not a good thing. Okay, other things that comes on this slingshot package is it comes in a little bag, a set of pieces, 2 Allen keys. One, it's a big one for you to use on the body of the slingshot for this types of screw here, and to unscrew this part here. Some people like to use this thing for another type of handle, as we described it before. The other thing, the other Allen key is this one, which is for the sides. Okay, this slingshot comes with one type of sight, with this one here. It comes unassembled. There's this little bastonet here, this little part here, which you put it inside. I already screwed it in and put it on there because it's adjustable. If you're shooting far away, you can raise your sights and you're gonna have another measurement. So it goes on the sides. It's ambidextrous, so you can put here or you can put on the other side. Okay, so you have the slingshot over here, and there is 2 ways of aiming with this sights. Okay, with this one is through the fiber optic, the high-vis optics that you have here, and the other one is to the pip hole. So you put the target there, use the technique properly, and you're gonna shoot through this. If you want to shoot far away, you're just gonna raise the difference, and you're gonna pull this thing a little bit further, and you're gonna have more distance to shoot. Okay, so easy to use. It comes together with the slingshot. The other thing is this 4 screws. If you lose 2, you still have the other ones, and 2 sets of the fiber optic, which I don't know if it's really fiber optic. It's more like a high-vis type of nylon. Okay, this all comes in the slingshot. Got it. Pretty much is this. Let me know what we can talk more about this. If you have any questions, just let me know in the commentaries below, and I'll be trying to answer, engage the channel. We can talk with people from a slingshot all over the world. We'll be talking about other models of slingshots that we use in Brazil, especially the type of wood that we have here, the most common slingshot that we have here. And that's the reason why the channel is coming up in English now as well. Okay, I hope you guys enjoy it, and let me know in the commentaries as anything that you want to see in the channel in the further episodes. Okay, thank you very much. My name is Vega. We talk later. Slingshot Capixaba.